Good. So you will be opening the task 1 file I had circulated way back when we started the Excel sessions. In that, we are going to do some conditional formatting. So session 1 file, I need to share the screen from here too. Okay. Now, may I have a bit of a introduction from your side that if you are aware about the conditional formatting, whatever the things you are aware about, please let me know. कुछ मालूम है कंडीशनल फॉर्मेटिंग कहीं पे आया था कुछ सुना था
Yes, sir.
yes effectively what kind of a task it does can someone tell me
Sir, according to me, as I know, the conditional formatting is like you give a reference. If it is there, then it may be showing some colors. If it is not there, then it may be showing another color. As I have
hmm.
done once, like if you are giving a reference of a cell that it contains one, then you give output as which we want, and if it is not there, then you should give output like this. So this kind of
Hmm.
things is conditional formatting.
Okay good so it's more about framing the rules and we are going to show how to how going to see how to frame the rules in the conditional formatting anyone else would like to add few things on this if you are aware about it fine no worries let's move ahead some people would be like sir हम तो chat ही करेंगे okay See, as it's been stated by Mr. Gaurav, that sir, it's all about putting the rules and whether the rules are getting satisfied or not. Based on that, some formatting will be applied, right? So, what kind of a formatting will be applied? Now, that kind of a formatting is entirely a liberty given to us. So, whether we want the colors to be changed, whether we want the borders to be changed, whether we want, some other sort of formatting where some icons and the bars would be introduced based on the conditions we gave. That's the conditional formatting. As the name itself suggests, it's about telling the Excel the condition first of all, and we want to do the formatting only if that condition is satisfied, otherwise not, right? So what's going to be the first step? Here in this case as well, the first step is going to be the selection of the data, right? So here in this case, say for example, if I have the data of all the marks, I would be selecting it all together and I want to highlight only those cells which are more than 90, right? So all the cells which are more than 90 needs to be highlighted. So once the data is selected, I would go to the home tab and here in the home tab itself, in the styles section, you have something called conditional formatting. I guess in this one, you would be requiring the magnifier, unlike the earlier section where everyone was there physically present. Okay, sir, आपको पे सिलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा डेटा कर लिया now conditional formatting I say that I want to highlight all the cells which are more than 90. Now there is something called highlight cell rules, which is the first one, and here you have the greater than option. See, you have quite a few options over there. One is the greater than, another one is the less than, then you have between, then you have equal to. I mean, if that is matching exactly equal to something, then only you want to give the formatting, otherwise not. Text that contains. So when I say text that contains, and if I want to identify that how many Gauravs are there in the class, and I want to highlight all the Gauravs, then I'll be using the text that contains. Now this formatting would be applied to each and every cell. So let me go to the greater than in this case. Our case, we want more than 90 to be highlighted in some color. You have the options of highlighting this. Now see, if I click on this drop down arrow, you have the various other options. You can just change the border. You can fill up the text with a few colors. Now here you have something called custom format. Now custom format gives you the liberty to customize your formatting in whatever the way is suitable to you. So my dear friends, if I just want the font of those numbers to get changed, then I'll go to the font. Then in the font, I would go to the color, and in that font color, I would select say red. You can select as per your requirement. Then I press OK. Then I would press OK. You must have observed that only the font color would have been changed. Rest everything is same. You can select the formatting of your choice. Say all those numbers, all those cells must be highlighted in say thick boxes. That means the thick borders must be there for all the boxes. Can someone tell me what should I do now? What's gonna be my first step? I am there. Say for example here. I hope you have got my question. I want to apply the thick borders only to the cells which are more than 90. What's gonna be my first step? Can someone tell me? Let's have the interaction. Let's have the energy back. Some people will say, आपके लिए easy है. हमारी जगह पे आओ तो मालूम पड़े 8-8 लेक्चर बैठना. That's how the life is, you know. Anyone? Step number one. No one? No one.
Select the data.
Very good. Select the data. Then select the data, but do not take the totals because obviously the totals are more than 90, right? Then I would go to the conditional formatting. From here, I would go to highlight cell rules. Then I would again go to grade 2. And in greater than, I would put 90 because all the cells which are more than 90 over there only, I want to apply the formatting. Now, here in the formatting, I would go to the custom format, and in the custom format I would go to the option of border from here, my dear friends, and in border I would select the thick borders. Do I have the thick border option over here? Let me check it. Hmm, thick border. Okay, so these are the variety of borders which are available to us. Say I am selecting this variety, right? So only that kind of a border will be visible on those cells which are satisfying our condition. So I've selected one type of a border which is slightly different from the normal borders we use. Then I would press OK. Then I would again press OK. Then do we have to change over here or what? I guess the borders are applied, but very minute changes are there. Let me check it again. Alt HBN. I'm using the Alt HBN to remove all the borders. Again, the laptop is high on the ganja. ये बंद भी हो गया देखो अपना हिसाब से अपने आप बंद हो गया क्या बात है वेरी गुड डिसोबीडियंट देखो मेरी कितनी सारी फाइल को बंद कर दिया उसने इतनी सारी फाइल को fine I'll take it after some time. Okay, so I have removed all the borders altogether. First of all, how did I remove the border? You can remove the border by just going over there and you can go to the border option from here, and in border option you can select the no borders, right? Now say if you want to do it by using the shortcut key, you people are aware about it. So once I remove this border, I guess then you would be able to see that what exactly the borders are getting applied once these conditions are satisfied. Now I'll go to the conditional formatting again because data is already been selected. Highlight cell rules, and in greater than I would put 90. And in the custom format, I would go to the border section, and in border section, I would apply the border which I feel should be there. Once the borders are applied, then pressing OK, then pressing OK. I guess that kind of borders that we had selected are applied. Check it out. बहुत छोटे 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 बॉर्डर्स हैं लेकिन अप्लाई हुए हैं. May I have the confirmation from the students that till now we are clear? Shall I move ahead, please?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now let's go to, if I want to highlight, say from the task number 1 here in this case, all the cells which are say containing the names Vishwa. So what should I do? The first step is to select the entire data, right? Once the entire data is selected, I would go to the home tab again, conditional formatting, and in highlight cell rules, I would select the text that contains. And the text that contains, I would just put the name Vishwa. Now I would select the borders as per my requirement or whatever the formatting which I wanna give. Say I wanna highlight those cells with the red fill, and I wanna also give the font color that is a red one. So I'm selecting the first one by default, whatever is there, pressing OK. All the cells where Vishwa is written anywhere, those cells would be highlighted. You may check it. Okay. Once it is done, I am giving you the one more task to all of you. Let's go to, see in the top bottom rules as well, you have few options. Right? Say in a top bottom options, if you want to highlight top 10 and bottom 10 items, you want to highlight above average and below average. So all the cells which are below average, you want to highlight those. All the cells which are above average, you want to highlight those. Now here in this case, top 10 in terms of this, what do I call, the numbers is also there. I mean, if specifically the numbers are given to you, then top 10 and bottom 10 you will be using. But if you want to say that, sir, if I have say 150 entries and I want to highlight that what are the entries forming a part of the top 10 percentage and bottom 10 percentage. So you just do not want to highlight the 10, you want to highlight the 10 percentage of all the values. So say 150 का टोटल जो आ रहा है उसमें से 10 परसेंटेज में कौन सी टॉप एंट्रीज आ रही है top 10 percentage में. So for that I'll be using the top 10 percentage instead of the top 10 item. Say if I have the income of all the students here, right? And if I want to see that out of the total income, who are the people who are falling in the top 10 percentage of the income? So I'll be using the top 10 percentage instead of top 10 exact top 10 items, right? Above average, below average is also there. Then you have something called data bars. Now data bars you'll be able to get once you apply this. You will tell me that what's the logic behind it. Huh? See, I have the totals right now. You people are aware about the first step already. So I'm selecting the totals. Then I'm going to the conditional formatting and I'm selecting one data bar option from here. Now, can someone tell me what's this data bar option? What's been done?
Uh,
If you can.
it shows કે total marks માંથી કેટલું એને score કર્યું છે ને in the form of a bar it shows in the cell itself.
Pretty much right. Some more redefined answer if anyone wanna say something.
It's a graphical representation in the box only.
Yes, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I want that how this formatting has been applied. What's been taken as a base to apply this formatting?
Total max.
True. इन टोटल किसी में कम है किसी में ज्यादा है तो किस में कम है और किस में ज्यादा है
Maximum marks, maximum total and minimum total.
Very true. So it's about the maximum and minimum total. Accordingly, the proportionate color, color filling has been done. Now let me apply that in the percentage as well over here. We have the percentages here. First of all, let me use the sign of percentage from his. Once the data is selected, some students were like, sir, इसमें तो पूरे परसेंटेज जा रहे हैं, तो बेटा इंक्रीज कर दो डेसिमल यहाँ से, कौन मना कर रहा है? Now on the percentages too, I am applying something on the data bars, and in the data bars, I am going to say the first one. Again, you may check it. The full color is been applied on that data bar, which is the highest, which is the maximum. And by taking maximum as the base, it has applied the proportionate color, to the other cells. I hope that's pretty much clear to everyone now. Now, say for example, let me take this one now. Data bars, and I'm applying some data bars here. Now you may check that all those are 377 are quite less. 375 is also quite less. So the color filling has been done based on taking the minimum and maximum as the base. Now see, this is the bar which is containing only the one color. Now I want to highlight the entire cell, but the formatting for all the cells should differ based on their values. See here, few of the portions of the cells are remaining empty, right? See, if you check this portion, this is empty, only this portion is filled up. I don't want to keep any portion empty here, first of all. See here as well, something is empty. See, data bar has its own utility, understood. But we want to move ahead. We want to see that, sir, everywhere the formatting needs to be applied. We do not want to keep any portion of the cell empty. We want to apply the colors everywhere, but the colors must be given in some scales. Then what should we do? So first of all, wherever the formatting is already been applied, no, you would be removing that formatting. So I'm selecting the cells in the total, and then in the conditional formatting, you must be able to see there is something called clear rules. And in clear rules, you have the two options. One is clear rules from the selected cells. Another one is from the entire worksheet. I would say, see, I do not want to clear the rules from the entire worksheet. I want to clear only from the selected cells. So those rules are nullified now. And I would again select the data, and everyone would be doing it, and then I'll ask the interpretation again. Check it out. Say I'm going to the color scales, and I'm selecting the first color scale. Can someone tell me what is the color scale applied here? Can you interpret this?
In the maximum marks, there is a dark green color, and as the marks is getting reduced, color is also getting faded, and to the minimum marks, there is red color, complete red.
Very true. There is one more color actually, if you can identify that.
That is for the average and the below average, somewhere between that.
Okay, average has not been taken here. Yellow color is also there, right? So see, there are in the color scales, you have three color options. Here we had selected the three color option here. One is green, another one is yellow, third one is red. Now red would be highlighting all those cells which are near to minimums. Green would be highlighting those cells which are near to maximum. And yellow will be there for all the cells which are somewhere in between. Now what happens? That sir, if maximum is 531 and minimum is 456, and if I have something like 465, then what will happen? So on 465, you would have the mixture of red and yellow, because yellow we have selected for the midpoint, right? But since this 465 is nearer to the minimum, it will have the more effect of red, and the yellow effect would be little less. More and more your numbers would approach to the midpoint, the yellow effect will keep on increase and the red effect will little bit decrease. So here we have applied the three color scales. In the similar manner, I have 531 on which the maximum color has been applied, which is the green color. But if I have something called 493, then it would be the mixture of green as well as yellow. So more and more I'll go to 475. The yellow component will get increased further and the green component will get reduced. So this is how the mix of color you will get in the three scales. Now some people would be like, sir, ये maximum और minimum ये हमें दे, उससे अच्छा हम खुद करें तो करो, कौन मना कर रहा है? तुम खुद कलर कर सकते हो, तुम खुद रूल बना सकते हो. Say all the marks I have the right. Now I want to highlight all the marks which are more than 90 in absolute green, all the marks which are lesser than 60 in absolute red, and midpoint I want to keep at say 75. So more than 90, less than 60 and 75. So what I'll do first, I'll obviously select entire data as we already do. Then I'll go to the color scales. Then in color scales there is something called more rules, or directly you can go to the new rule here. Both would be fine. That's perfectly fine. So in color scale as well, you may see that there is something called more rules, and you can frame altogether a new rule as well. We'll come to the new rule after some time, but let's go to the more rules from here now. Now say here in this rules, the rule dialog box, here edit rule. First of all, by default, the first option is selected, that is format all cells based on the values. So we want to format only on the basis of values, right? So I would apply the 3 color scale there. Now here I would be just telling that, see, do not take the lowest value, take the number which I tell you, and I want to take the number which is 90. So obviously all the numbers which are more than 90 will get highlighted in. No, minimum is there. First of all, I'm sorry. So minimum say 60. So 60 के नीचे है, मुझे नहीं ये नहीं बताना है कि भाई तू मिनिमम को ये ट्रेड कर, नहीं मिनिमम नहीं, मुझे 60 से नीचे सब रेड में चाहिए. So I've selected the number which is 60. Then midpoint, say for example, I'll be selecting again the number and I'll be keeping midpoint at 75, which should be the yellow. Now according to where you are, say if you are at the 65, then you are more near to 60 and little bit far from the 75. So accordingly the color combination would get applied. In maximum, say highest value, I would again take the number because I do not want to give the green color based on the highest value. I want to give the green color to all the cells which are more than 90. So I would put 90 there. Minimum, maximum and midpoint you have put. Press OK. And you must have observed that all the marks have been highlighted. Take it out. Midpoint we had kept 75 and 60 was kept as red, minimum. Hope that's clear to everyone now. It gives you an idea about, now you can put the comment as well over here. If someone is watching your worksheet and you wanna what kind of a highlight, conditional formatting you have used, you wanna give the idea about that, just put the comment. It gives an amazing idea, visualization, because if these colors wouldn't have been applied, no, you were not able to identify which were the lowest, where I should concentrate, where I shouldn't concentrate right now. Here in this case, we have the small data. If the data would be too large, 1,000 number of columns and rows, at that time, if you want to identify that, whether you are near to maximum or whether you are near to the minimum, this color visualizations helps you a lot. I hope that's clear to everyone now. Okay. Now let's again let me do something, and you would just observe and you will tell me that what I have done. I'm selecting this entirely. Okay. Now analyze this further and let me know what is there. What I have done. Can someone tell me?
Sir, again, it's a graphical representation according to the marks which is in the box.
Can someone explain this further?
Sir, in the form of bars, a bar જે છે, they represent the marking that that particular score stands on out of the total. એટલે the first bar represents the minimum score and the fifth one represents the highest score. So the colored bars represent કે five bars માંથી like what level a particular score stands on.
True, very true. So it has already framed the 5 bars, and 5 bars are allocated in terms of minimum to maximum, right? So and accordingly it has taken the 5 divisions of it. So in that range of minimum and maximum, wherever these 5 divisions would be falling, it has given the bar on that. So if say it's nearby 3, that means you must be able to see that it's somewhere near to, the moderate performance. If it is here in this case, I guess 4 are there, right? 4 are there, right? So if it is 3, then I guess it would be good. If it would be 4, then I would say that it's excellent or very good. If it is just 2, then I would say moderate, and if it is just 1, I would say it's little bit bad. So accordingly you can give the icons as well. There are various icons. Now it's not just like जो आइकॉन उन्होंने दिया है वही आप कर सकते हो, आप अपने हिसाब से भी आइकॉन बना सकते हो। आपके रूल्स, आपको लगे ना कि मुझे इस पर्टिकुलर रूल के ऊपर ये आइकॉन देना है, यू कैन चेंज इट। नाउ लेट मी रिमूव द रूल्स हियर। अपन जितने भी टोटल्स वगैरह में रूल्स दिए हो सबसे पहले निकाल देते हैं। वंस आई सिलेक्ट दिस, I go to the Home tab and Conditional Formatting, clear rules, right? So observe this, please everyone. I'm again selecting this data from language 1 to social, which are the data of, which is the data of all the marks. Going to the Home tab, Conditional Formatting, then there is something called New Rule. I'm clicking on the New Rule. Now in the new rule, my dear friends, here you have something called icon sets as well. See, you can check it. My mouse cursor is over there. In the format style, you have something called icon sets. Now you have taken this icon. You may change your icon based on needs. Say if I click over here, then I would be selecting any icon which I feel that would be the most appropriate. So let me apply this pie chart. Now it has taken some value, so whatever is there lesser than 20, it would give straight away this particular pie. I can change it as per my need. Now see, this is based on the percent again. Now let me take it a number. I'll be converting that into numbers straight away, right? तो हमें पहले 20%, बाकी के उसके बाद वाले 20% में कौन आता है, उसके बाद वाले 20% में कौन आता है इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्वांटिटी, वो नहीं करना है हमें, खुद के नंबर अपने हिसाब से देना है। तो हम क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पे है ना मोर देन और इक्वल टू अपन प्रेस करेंगे से 55, ठीक है। 55 बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा, एक काम करते हैं, हाँ 55 ही रखो ना अपने पास, 55 वाले लेस। फिर 2 वाले में है ना अपन करेंगे से 75, इसके अंदर अपन करेंगे से 85, एंड सबसे बड़ी वैल्यू है उसके अंदर अपन करेंगे 95। ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस। सो मोर देन 95 ऑब्वियसली more than or equal to 95 would be there, then this entire circle would be visible to you, entire pie would be visible to you. If it is more than or equal to 85 but lesser than 95, then 3 pies, 3 quarters of the pie will be visible to you. Similarly, for more than or equal to 75 but lesser than 85, उसके लिए आपको 2 पाई दिखेंगे. More than or equal to 55 but lesser than 75, उसके लिए सिर्फ आपको एक ही पाई दिखेगा. तो आपने पहला वाला जो लिया तो बाय डिफॉल्ट वो उसके हिसाब से लेस देन 55 ले ही लेगा, तो आपको करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Now you press OK and you must see that the formatting is applied as per your needs. Now I tell you the exact utility of this you will be able to identify only when you have the large data set. Because in the large data set you are unable to identify first of all that where your maximum is staying and where your minimum is. So by looking at one particular value, you just want to analyze that, where this value is falling in my total distribution of data. You'll be able to make some conclusion. You will be able to derive some conclusions based on that. Right? Tomorrow, we would go to frame some rules on the conditional formatting. Now see, you can customize the rules of the conditional formatting based on your needs, Now see, if I want to format the science mark, only if, I'm just giving you the condition. If the math mark is more than 70, then only I want to format the science mark, otherwise not. Can someone tell me what can we do? I hope you got my question first of all. I want to format the science mark only if the math mark is more than 70. What can we do? Try. Now say when I say format, no, that could be related to putting the icons, data bars. It could be related to putting some colors, changing some, borders or any sort of a formatting. Anyone would like to try? We are going to go into frame those rules in the next session, but I'm just giving you the brief idea about what we are going to do next time. That's why.
Sir, is it like you need to highlight the science mark if maths mark are above
70?
Then in a new rule, you take minimum and maximum value, or else there is a data bar or something, and you give a reference of the maths mark where the lowest value is this and maximum value is this, then and only then it will apply to science mark.
Okay, so let's do it. How can we do it? Let's check it out. I'm just giving you the brief idea about it because these rules we are going to see again in detail in the next lecture. I don't want to take much time of yours, because I can see that you people are a little bit tired right now. Even I am. So going to the home tab now. We are there into the conditional formatting. See, I must be there right now in the science marks, because that's where I want to apply the formatting. Now, based on which conditions is entirely a different issue that we'll see later on. But I want to apply the formatting on the science marks. So I'm there right now. My mouse cursor is over there. Then I'm going to the home tab, conditional formatting. Then I'll go to the new rule. In the new rule, there is fifth option called use a formula to determine which cells to format. तो हमें कौन से वाले सेल को फॉर्मेट करना है उसका फॉर्मूला हमें देना है. ठीक है, तो मैं उस पांचवे वाले ऑप्शन में गया. Now it will ask me that what condition you want to satisfy. I would say I want to satisfy that math mark shall be more than 75, sorry 70. Then I would click on this button. Then I would start with the sign of equal to, because here I will have to give the formula, and every formula as well as the function and everything starts with the sign of equal to. So I would select the math mark, that is 76. If this is more than 70, because effectively this is my condition, no? So I've selected the math mark and I'm putting more than 70. pressing enter. Now I am going to the format, and in format I would select any kind of a fill or any sorts of a formatting I want to. Say if I am selecting the green, pressing OK. Now pressing OK. See, the formatting is applied on science, but the rule was made on math. If the math mark were getting qualified for more than 70, then only the science mark will be formatted, otherwise not. So this is just a brief idea I have given to you. इसके ऊपर आप कितने सारे और भी रूल्स बना सकते हो, कितनी सारी कंडीशंस जो हम इफ के अंदर कंडीशंस देते थे ना, वैसे कितनी सारी कंडीशंस आप इसके अंदर भी दे सकते हो, जस्ट टू फॉर्मेट फ्यू नंबर्स और सम टेक्स्ट्स. यहां तक सबको मालूम पड़ा? मे आई हैव द कंफर्मेशन प्लीज. Now similarly you would be again doing the task. Say you will be highlighting the language 3 mark only if the language 2 mark are lesser than 55. Do it. I'm putting the rule in front of you. You will be highlighting language 3 mark only if language 2 mark are more than 55. So first of all, decide that where your cursor should be. Your cursor should be at a place which you want to highlight. You want to highlight the language 3 mark, so you must be there on that cell right now. Later on you can change the cell reference as well, there is absolutely no query on that, but I must be first, initially should be there. Then I would go to the home tab, new rule, then in new rule I would go to the fifth option. I would insert the formula here, and the formula would start with the sign of equal to. So sir, this language 2 ke mark shall be less than 55. Then I want to highlight the language 3 ke marks. So I'm
Sir,
giving, yes please.
sir, if we are going on the hold on, sir, conditional formatting, and in the new rule section, if we go to the style in the classic, सर अगर अपन ग्रेड वो पूरा साइंस का अपन जो डेटा है पूरा मार्क्स उसको अपन सेलेक्ट करके अगर अपन ग्रेटर देन 70 करते तो सर पूरी जो सारे मार्क्स एक ही कलर के हो रहे हैं.
तो हो ही जाएगा ना, क्योंकि तुमने कंडीशन एक ही दिया है कि अगर मैथ के मार्क 70 से ऊपर है तो तुम्हें सभी साइंस के मार्क को हाईलाइट करना है, इसका मतलब ये हुआ ना.
अच्छा ओके, तो स्मॉलर देन 70 करना है.
नहीं, तूने सिर्फ एक का ही रेफरेंस दिया था, कंडीशन में सिर्फ एक का रेफरेंस दिया था कि भाई फर्स्ट वाले का मार्क है ना वो मोर देन 70 होने चाहिए मैथ में.
ओके
वो रूल अप्लाई किसके ऊपर कर रहा है? ये पूरे सेल्स के ऊपर कर रहा है. तो ये
ओके
रूल तो अप्लाई कर रहा है, तो एक्सेल तो सही ही जा रहा है.
Sir,
एक्सेल सही.
हाँ सर.
यस प्लीज.
I have given reference of whole, then also the same thing is happening.
सेम थिंग मतलब कि अभी जो दक्ष ने बोला वही हो रहा है.
हाँ वही वही.
हाँ तो बेटा वोल नहीं करना है ना, होल नहीं करना है, उसके लिए अलग सा फॉर्मूला यूज करना पड़ेगा. होल का मतलब क्या हुआ? देखो मैंने सिर्फ एक ही सिलेक्ट किया था, साइंस का पहला वाला सेल. मैंने पूरा पूरा रेंज नहीं सिलेक्ट किया, क्योंकि व्हेन यू सिलेक्ट दिस एंटायर रेंज उसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि इफ द मैथ मार्क मतलब कि ये फर्स्ट वाले के मैथ के मार्क अगर 70 से ज्यादा है तो ये पूरे में हाईलाइट हो जाएगा. ये उसका अलग से नहीं देख रहा है, ये 73 का वो 52 का अलग से नहीं देख रहा है, वो 7 इसके ऊपर ही अप्लाई कर रहा है डायरेक्ट, क्योंकि कंडीशन में हमने सिर्फ यही सेल को दिया है. समझ रहे हो कि नहीं मान मेरी बात?
सर मैंने कंडीशन में पूरे मैथ्स के सिलेक्ट किए.
नहीं 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 नहीं, पूरे मैथ के नहीं करना है, पूरे मैथ के नहीं करना है. हाँ, अगर तुम्हें मैथ के ऊपर से हर एक में साइंस के मार्क्स को देखना है तो उसके लिए हम और फिर से यूज करेंगे, वो हम नेक्स्ट टाइम देखेंगे. और के साथ आप कैसे दूसरे दूसरे सेल्स को भी ले सकते हो, रेंज पूरी रेंज को ले सकते हो, वो हम दूसरी बार देखेंगे. ठीक है, अभी आपने सिर्फ एक ही सेल को धीरे धीरे हड़ू हड़ू स्टेप में जाते हैं. चलिए लेट्स सी, आई एम डूइंग इट अगेन. अंडरस्टैंड दिस. highlight the language 2 ke marks if language 1 marks are more than 90. So I'm there right now in language 2 k marks only on one cell. I'm not selecting the entire range. I'm just going to the home tab, then going to, I'm there in the second table right now. Please check it.
एक
Then in
वो चीज एक ही
format,
सेल के लिए अप्लाई, पूरी रो के लिए नहीं.
हाँ उसके लिए अलग से लगेगा फॉर्मूला बेटा, वो फॉर्मूला अलग से वो आएंगे ना उसके ऊपर अपन.
ओके.
तो ये इसके ऊपर गए अपन, लास्ट वाला किया और लास्ट के अंदर फॉर्मूला क्या डालना है सर? फॉर्मूला डालना है मस्ट स्टार्ट्स विद इज इक्वल टू. सो दिस लैंग्वेज 2 के मार्क नहीं लैंग्वेज 1 के मार्क शेल बी मोर देन 95. नाउ सी दैट सेल इज लॉक्ड, यू मे चेक इट. वहां पे क्या है, सेल के ऊपर लॉक है, कांस्टेंट है, तो वो एक कंडीशन है ना, वही यूज होगा हर जगह पे. दिस दैट सेल इज लॉक्ड, तो वो सिर्फ एक ही का चेक करेगा, लैंग्वेज 1 का और किसी का चेक नहीं करेगा. 90 सॉरी मोर देन 90 रखते हैं. तो सर पूरे रेंज में करना है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा, वो आते हैं ना नेक्स्ट टाइम. ओके, देन आई एम फॉर्मेटिंग the language 2 के marks and I'm giving the format of whatever the color I want to, pressing OK, pressing again OK. You must see that formatting has applied based on the rule of language 1. You may check that whatever the rules that you have given till now must be visible to you in the manage rules. So here in the home section, if I go conditional formatting and if you go to the manage rules, you must be able to see that all the rules that you have applied on that current selected data are visible to you. You can see all the rules applied in the entire worksheet. So in this worksheet, this many rules are applied. You may check it, see. Is it clear? So this many rules are applied on this many ranges. You can make the change as well. उसके ऊपर हम next time में करते हैं. So this was just an introduction for the conditional formatting. The complicated rule framing will take place in the next one. Okay, may I have the confirmation on this, please? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good. Very good. So I can see 11 students have joined. Uh, what's the total strength of your class?
15.
15. Fine, no worries. As a mark of your attendance, you can just put your enrollment number. And may I have the name of the students who were there in the first lecture but not there right now? If someone can recall it.
Sir, Ellen.
Ellen. Ellen is not there right now. Anyone else who was present in the first but not there right now? If you can just give me an idea. I guess online Saraswati had joined and one more person, Deepesh, has joined as well. Do we have Deepesh right now? I guess Deepesh is not there here. But so that's it from my side. I have put this message, because I wanted to keep it in the record. So bye, take care, sayonara. See you all tomorrow with the more amount of enthusiasm. Bye bye, take care. Enjoy your day.